My name is Stiz, and welcome to the Stizzy Chronicles. I live full-time in my RV. I've been living in southern Nevada on an acre of land. But this week, I'm preparing to go cross-country for the first time. This is the week leading up to that cross-country trip.
Working on me. Working on getting better. Working on me. Working on getting better.
As I prepare for my very first cross-country trip, there are a few things that I have to do. One, I have a motorhome. I also have a vehicle. So I have to figure out how to get my car across the country without me. I also need to set up some security cameras. Now, I purchased some cameras that are going to serve two purposes. One, to actually give me security. And two, when I'm driving the RV, to have some extra eyes for safety. I still have way too much stuff. Since I've been stationary on an acre of land, I've had the privilege of storing a lot of my extra stuff in a storage shed just outside the RV. That's going to be gone. That's no longer an option. So I got to purge. Those are the biggest items on my to-do list. But of course, there's a lot of little other stuff. So come on and hang out with me. It's going to be an interesting ride. It's nothing like a nice cold shower to give you a jolt, wake you up, get you focused and ready when you need to be productive. So the first thing I should do in order to help me, well, the second thing, cold shower was the first one. Second thing is I'm going to have to transfer this area, which is currently in lounge mode, into office mode. So bear with me while I go ahead and switch over into the dining room setup. Productivity mode activated. So on Saturday, I started doing my research on car transporting companies for my vehicle. So my RV is a 30-foot motorhome, Class C, but it is not prepped and ready to tow a vehicle. I don't have a tow on the back, and my car isn't set up to be pulled. Now, although I do plan on getting it situated in that manner one day, I just don't feel like doing it now. This is going to be my first time traveling cross country. I don't want to complicate the ride. I want to keep it simple. I want somebody else to deal with my car, and I just have to worry about myself, my fur babies, and the RV. So we're just going to have it shipped. Next time around, we'll worry about getting my car equipped to be towed and the RV equipped to tow. So now I'm going to follow up with AmeriFreight, give them a call, and see what other information they may need from me or what additional information I can get from the company to have a better understanding about the process, and then also to get a better idea as to how much it's going to cost. With AmeriFreight being a broker, which is similar to like Expedia, they're going to connect me with a carrier, a company that's actually going to ship my vehicle. They just make the process a little bit easier so I don't have to do all the calling around.
Calling from AmeriFreight. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And yourself?
Good. I got this call from you and I just wanted to return it.
Yes. I thought you called me back, so I sent in the documentation with the address, and I thought you called me back since I sent that in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But I may have misread what time that voicemail was left.
Yes, we did get your shipment information, so we are up on the carrier board looking for carriers. So as soon as I have any offers and I screen them, I will be in touch with you to go over those details. Okay.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. While I'm waiting for AmeriFreight to get back to me, I need to start looking at the security system that I purchased and get a better idea of what's included in that box so I can have an idea of how I'm going to set it up in the RV. So let's go ahead and move on to the next process of this crazy week. I can't let anything hold me back, even though it is kind of throwing me off that I don't know what to do with my car at the moment. I still have time. I'm not going to freak out. Just move on to the next step. It did not come equipped with the backup camera, and then there's no security cameras. So I was looking at backup systems, dash cameras, and also 360 cameras that are intended for trucks and RVs. While I was looking at camera systems to help with the driving aspect, I was also looking at security systems just for the RV itself, for security purposes, and then also so I can keep up on the fur babies, typical homeowner stuff. After doing some research, I settled on a PoE system, which is a power over Ethernet. The reason that was going to work best for me is because here inside the RV, there's not a lot of electrical outlets. So I needed a system that didn't require for me to keep plugging a lot of different things up in a lot of different locations. So in addition to the PoE system, I wanted something that would give me 24-hour surveillance. I also wanted to be able to access my cameras. I didn't want to have to be in the RV in order to see what was going on. And of course, I wanted cameras that were, pretty good quality. So after doing a lot of research, I settled on the Reolink. Reolink is really popular, especially on YouTube, and it is kind of pricey, but the features make up for the price. Now, trust and believe, I did not want to pay the price point that Reolink falls under. However, they had everything that I wanted when it comes to the benefits and the features. Now, to save me some dollars, instead of buying completely new, I purchased a used model. Now, it's not necessarily used, but it is a Reolink return. So somebody purchased this, returned it to the company, Reolink checked everything, make sure everything was fine, put it back on the market to sell at a discounted price, and I opted to buy that one. Now that everything has been unboxed, I do want to make sure everything works. Let's hope and pray that it does, because I purchased these items a long time ago. I never opened it. I never made sure it worked. Now that I'm actually ready to install, if there are any issues, it might be too late to return. So everybody wish me luck. I am hot. The fur babies are hot. It's hot in this RV right now. I need to turn on the AC. But once the AC comes on, it's hard for you to hear me. So I'm gonna wait until it cools down, and tomorrow, hopefully, you can start the installation process. Same outfit, different day. So yesterday, it was super hot in the RV. I decided to pause my productivity in order to enjoy some air conditioning. Once it finally cooled down, I had gotten to the point where I just wasn't even motivated. So this morning, we're going to try to start all over again, get in contact with a few other companies so we can finally lock in a date. In regards to shipping my car, as of now, I'm waiting for a phone call from AmeriFreight. That's the first company that I opted to move forward with, and I'm just waiting for them to locate a driver and give me the final price. I did reach out to SGT yesterday. I thought I was going to move forward with them, but based off the experience that I had yesterday and catching them in a lie, I don't know if I want to move forward with that company, even if they can guarantee a price lock, which I doubt that they will. I'm honestly not expecting a phone call from them at all. Hopefully AmeriFreight will give me a call today. If not, there's two other companies that I reached out to and I've gotten a reply from them, or at least a quote. I want to call them today just to get more information about their company and see how they set up everything to see if I'll move forward with them instead. Yellowfin Logistics is one of the companies that's located in Las Vegas. One of their quotes was sent to me on Sunday. Wasn't too bad. They have continued to follow up. And just so you know, if you are looking at shipping your car, the second you ask for a quote, you're going to get 1 million texts, 1 million calls, 1 million emails. Just expect it. This is Stiz. I'm calling about a quote that I received. I do have the quote number, if that would help. Now, just so you know, I think I'm already in the system with AmeriFreight, but I haven't received a phone call from them yet. They haven't called me back saying that they have a driver and a date, and I've already been told that that messes things up for your company because you can't have me in the system twice. Is that correct?
No, you wouldn't go through that. I actually noticed that there are like two companies that have you on the board. One is AmeriFreight, and the secondary one is SJT Auto Transport. Yeah.
So they have me on there too.
Yeah, but we have nothing with the board or anything with that system. We don't have anything with that. We don't care about that.
Oh.
We directly talk to the drivers. We have our own drivers that are actually from Vegas, and they go to Pennsylvania once again weekly. So
Okay.
you wouldn't have to go through any struggle. You know, I don't wait for the truckers to give me a call or anything similar. I just have them basically ready for you.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So, I'm loving this. Okay. So, can we move forward? So, I received the paperwork from Yellowfin. And just like the other company, we already seeing discrepancies in what was said to me and now what I'm actually reading in the documentation that I'm required to sign. You definitely got to read all the fine print. You might want to record all your conversations if you are shipping a vehicle, because I have receipts showing how much these brokers are just not being honest, or they were just horribly trained and all the information that they have is incorrect. I'm still moving forward with this one because at this point, what are my options? But I definitely don't like this experience of shipping my vehicle. I don't like it at all. I feel bad for people who are military who have to do this all the time, or whatever the reason may be for your relocation. If this is something that you constantly have to deal with, I feel for you. Because I definitely, at this point, don't even want to have to do this again. And we're not even done with the process. I still haven't had my car picked up. I still haven't had it shipped. I still haven't had it delivered to the final address. So there's still other areas where things could go wrong. Already, I'm just not liking this experience. Well, I'm very much annoyed with this process of getting a car shipped. So I'm going to change gears. Seeing as how technically speaking the car is now set up, we have an appointment. We'll see if that date holds true. But I do need to move on to the next project, and that is getting these cameras situated. First we have to test everything. So I got my old little monitor that I'm gonna hook up. We got this lovely little thing, this NVR. And then we have the cameras. Now I just gotta find the instructions for the 16 channel cameras. To ensure our components work properly, it is recommended that you connect every part and try to run the system before final installation. That's what we're gonna do right now. Plugged up. Let's power on the NVR. Starting the baby on up. This is a good sign so far. Majority of the setup process is complete, and I have functioning cameras, so we at least know everything works. I do have some ideas as to how I want to set it up. The only thing that's kind of throwing me off is the extra camera that I purchased. I don't think I knew it had a floodlight when I got it. So it is really heavy. In fact, all the cameras are pretty heavy. But that particular camera is heavier, and I'm hoping that won't be a problem since I'm going to try to install all this on the RV. Do have to keep in mind, most of the time I will be stationary, but there are going to be times when I'm traveling. I did see online that other people have installed regular security cameras on their RVs. Some are cameras that they have to install each time they pull into a location. Others are drilled into the RV, which is what I plan on doing. Nobody updated their post saying that it was a bad idea, so I'm hoping everything is fine. We're definitely going to find out ourselves, that's for sure. The next part of the process is getting them positioned outside the RV. Since that particular part of the day requires that I actually climb on the ladder, I think it's best that I eat first, because you don't want to do stuff like that on an empty stomach. So it's time to get the yum yums brewed up. Whew, that little snacky snack was delicious. messed around and made me sleepy. I took me a little nappy. Yeah, I did. It wasn't too long. It's still daylight outside, so that's a good thing. But it's time to get up and continue working. So my plan to start getting an idea of what the angles will look like with this camera is just use one, just so I can get a visual. Set up the online portal so I can use either my phone or my tablet to actually get an idea what the view of the camera looks like instead of coming in and out of the RV. Granted, if it was more than one person on this project, that would help, but it's just me. The dogs and the cat are useless. And I do think I'm going to have to make a trip. Well, I know for a fact I'm going to need to make a trip to the store. I think I'm going to try to get to that stage today to pick up some additional items. Because with the 4 cameras that's going to wind up inside, there is a concern about it getting wet. Now, these are weatherproof cameras. However, there are some components that you have to be careful. You do still have to be careful. So there are pieces in the kit that help you waterproof this, but I feel like there should probably be some additional waterproofing with the wires. Everything else as far as the camera is supposedly waterproof and meant for indoor and outdoor use. So it should be fine. You still got to be careful because water can sneak into some of these components. If that happens, dang. Good thing about this system is you can always just replace the camera, get another one, and the system still works, just one camera is out of order. So to get ourselves prepped and ready for all of that, I got to clear up some space up here. And, you know, since I'm going to be clearing up some space to get the NVR up here, and also to kind of make sure the fur babies don't get, you know, caught up in the wires or break anything. It's the main reason I want to get it up here. But I did plan on actually getting rid of all this stuff, this material. This area is for the cat. I don't ever plan on sleeping up there. I don't plan on having any of my guests sleep up there. And I feel like we can get rid of some of this as far as the weight goes. And then also with it being cloth and then his litter box also being up here, it's going to pick up some scents. And if I can get that out of the RV, I'd rather do that. And this seems to be the perfect time. So we're going to get these cushions outside and then I'll worry about getting it to the dump later. It's time to get physical. I wanna get physical. Especially before it gets too hot in here. Cleared out. So we are going to find some space up here for the cameras and returning all the items that were up there. Now this area looks a little questionable. Over there, especially in that corner. The overhead compartment RVs are known to have water damage, so I'm thinking this area might have some things hidden that could be scary. But I'm not gonna think about it right now. Just focus on these cameras. My one camera set up. I'm using my tablet to help me look at the camera angles while outside. I have one camera that's set up and you can see that camera on the screen. Hey. Let's turn this upside down. Right side up. Hey. Okay. So we're gonna use this camera. I'm gonna just feed it out this window here. And the Ethernet cord is plenty long to make it all the way around this RV. So I'm just going to use this to kind of give me an idea of what the angles is going to look like once it's actually adhered to the RV. I'm not going to drill any holes just yet because there's still some additional items that I need to purchase. I will need to make a trip to good old-fashioned home improvement store tonight. Now, a lot of people will discourage what I'm about to do, which is putting holes into the RV. A lot of people are worried that holes in the RV is going to lead to water damage, but there's sealants out there and there's things that you can do to protect the RV the best you can. And as long as you keep up on that maintenance, you really shouldn't have any issues. Now, my plan with the cameras is to screw them into the RV, but I'm not going to put a hole into the RV, not for all of the cameras, in order to fish the wire through. I'm actually just going to let the wires go above the RV onto the roof, try to organize them up there, and then put one hole in the RV, more than likely in this area, where all of the wires will then be able to come down and then into the power supply, aka the NVR, and then of course then that gives me access to view them from the monitor. Now with that plan, the only real holes that I'm worried about is the holes from the screws, which are fairly small, and then probably one 1-inch hole, and that's it. And once again, that's going to come up here in the front. It's in a place where I can at least monitor it. I'm not really worried about putting holes in the RV. When you own something, that's like the best thing. When I purchased my house, that was the first thing I did was bust holes in the dang on walls. Just because I'm in the RV doesn't mean I'm not going to do the same thing with this bad boy. We busting holes in this mother. We just got to make sure we're smart about it. And just a side note here, you probably noticed that as I was removing the futon or the cushions from up above here, I decided to save some of the foam. I was actually going to save the bigger piece of foam as well, but it looks like it has already been wet, or there may be possibly mildew or mold on it. So we're just going to let that, we're going to throw that in the trash. But this piece right here looks pretty good, and I'm going to use it for this. So right now this is in dining room mode, but when I have it in couch mode or booth seating mode, if you will, the cushions that come with it take care of the bottom where your booty butt is. But the back area is just wall. I actually want to turn that into a cushiony area, and I feel like this foam is going to be perfect. I also have leftover mattress from when I had some additional twin size beds in my house. It's like a mattress that's intended for possibly camping or just something that you can pull out when you have guests over. I'm gonna also use that as a cushion. That's a project later on down the road, but doesn't hurt to save this now, because that's money saved later. Now I am going to move my TV. This generally is in my bedroom. I don't know why I didn't move it before, because it was definitely in the way the whole dang on time. It's still in the way. This is going to get moved, and then we're going to start with the cameras outside. TV is in the bedroom, so it's out of the way, and I was able to get up to the top here, open it just enough to get the wire through, and I'll go ahead and test the camera later on. But the plan is to have one just above the window here, and then the other window over here. I want to do the same thing and do that on both sides. Then I did initially intend for the one that has like the 180 degree to go back here. That's the one that has the floodlight, and I don't know if I want the floodlight in the back because it's useless. And then of course I would have to turn the floodlight off when I'm driving, because we don't want that flashing people while I'm out on the road. Now technically, I do believe having the one with the floodlight above the door is the best of the options. It just doesn't look right in my head, because then the cameras don't match. So I'm still deciding on what camera's gonna go where. I might still stick with my idea of just having everything above the windows, keep all the cameras the same, and then the one with the 180 view be in the very back. That way I can see what's behind me, and just for safety reasons, you know, just gives me a wider view. The only reason that I'm slightly reluctant is because that floodlight would be perfect for when I'm entering the RV to have that light. But I also have some wireless solar lights that I can just put up. I wasn't planning to screw them. I was just going to use like double-sided tape, put them up when I'm stationary, take them off when I'm driving, and then just kind of keep it like that and hope that the double-sided tape keeps it in place if it gets windy or if it rains. That'll give me the light that I need, and then I don't have to worry about the floodlight being above this door, and I can stick with the aesthetic that I prefer, which is having the exact same cameras above all the windows, and then the one camera that's different be in the back. And I think that's what I would do. It just makes me feel better. One of the exciting and yet scary things about this project is that I need to actually get on top of the RV roof, which I have not done at all. When I purchased the RV, I did have someone inspect it. That individual got on top of the roof, not me. So I do have a ladder borrowed from a friend. I'm not certain if ladders are supposed to go on gravel, so let's hope that's not an issue. And I'm gonna try to get on up there. I need to see the layout of the roof. So here goes the scary part. I figured out how to use the ladder. But I'm fucking terrified. I don't want to go up there. This is a part of the RV life that I don't know if I'm gonna like. I mean, you know what we could do? Okay? Ideas is coming to me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install the cameras, right? And not worry about the top just yet. We might postpone that, delay it. We're gonna have to do it though, but we'll figure that out in a little bit. But I'm gonna at least get an idea of the angle on one of these cameras just to see what the view's gonna look like. And I do need to take a trip to the store, because my plan is, since this looks like this, right? We have this here. I was watching a YouTube video where they basically use like a waterproof regular junction boxes. And the camera was drilled to the junction box, and this was inside the junction box. So that way they didn't have to worry about it ever getting wet. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this up to the Ethernet cord that's hanging out of the window. That's gonna get this camera activated once again. Then I'll be able to see what the image looks like, and I'm gonna just use my tablet. Yeah, I don't know about that climbing on the roof thing. I don't really like it. Maybe it's just the ladder I don't like, but I ain't feeling that right now. Seeing so far, having the cameras directly above the window doesn't give me the view that I want, so I may have to just angle them, meaning get one in the corner over here, and then in the back corner get one, and just have them facing the opposite direction. So if it's in the front, it's going to be facing towards the back. If it's in the back, it's going to be facing towards the front. Then we're just going to crisscross the views. But before I settle on that, I am going to actually get on the ladder again so I can get a more accurate view of what the image is going to look like once I have it installed. Come on, ladder, here we go. Definitely I'm gonna go with the angle. I like the angle. It makes perfect sense, because anytime I see somebody with cameras on their RV, it's at an angle. I don't know why I thought it would work differently for me. So we're gonna get them in the corners here, front corner, back corner. Angle them this way. That way I get a view of the back and the tires, so I don't run anything over. Same with the front. And then the other camera, which gives me the 180 view, is because it has the two. See, it has the two cameras there. That gives me literally two pictures, and then it's like merged together. I'm gonna put this in the back. Now let's go ahead and go to the store and start looking at some weatherproofing junction boxes, and also maybe some conduit or something to help me organize the wires on the roof that I'm scared to get on. But I'm gonna get up there sooner or later. These this is the section that I believe I need to be in. We shall confirm. But I need something similar to these non-metallic weatherproofing boxes. Just to be safe, I did bring some of the camera so I can make sure that it fits and it works the way I'm picturing. So I found the pieces that I want to use to give it a watertight seal. So these are the pieces that I'm concerned about. It looks something like this. Once it's hooked up, the Ethernet cords are going to be much longer. So just try to picture this being closed. This is going to be on top. So this is going to screw, the camera's going to screw into the lid. The lid screws into this bottom piece here. And then on the sides, you'll see there's a place to put screws to secure this into the RV. I will have to put holes into the box, so there's going to be a hole that I'm going to need to drill here, or at least pop it out. That'll allow these wires to go into that hole, hopefully. I think that I'll be able to get that to fit. I am slightly concerned about the amount of space that's inside. Because if I want to be extra certain that it's watertight, this did come with a pack, and this gives like a watertight seal around these two components here. I just need to make sure I have enough space, which I think I will. If it doesn't fit, I may just take this out and do my absolute best to make sure that this is sealed. The wire itself will come out one of these that I'll have to drill a hole. And they do have low couplings that'll keep this watertight as well. Then of course I'm going to add some sealant just to be certain that the water doesn't get in there and mess up any of the components. But I think we have a plan. Only thing is, the one I plan on putting with the floodlight is too big. That's not going to fit on here. And then they don't have any boxes that are big enough. So this one's going to be a direct connection. This is going to go directly on the RV. That does leave some of the components vulnerable to the elements, but I think we'll be okay. So what I need to find now is the piece that fits in here, and then possibly some type of protection or conduit to protect the wires. But looking at the prices, we may skip that part. I would love to use this material, but if I get a bunch of this, it gets expensive really quickly. Considering that the prices are a little higher than I expected, this particular project could get pricey really quick. So I am going to walk around the store and see if they have any other options. Something that'll fit into that box and protect the wires and keep everything watertight. What I see so far is more on the expensive side. They gotta have a cheaper option. We are back home. That trip to the store was a 2-hour trip. I think I was even judged at the store because the guy must have spotted me when I first walked in. And then like an hour or so later, he was like, "You still here? I came here an hour ago and you were still in the same section." Look, sir, don't judge, okay? Because I don't go with the list. I go with a vision. And then while I walk up and down the aisles, I try to bring that vision to life. And that's almost what I did tonight. It's not quite how I wanted, but some of the pieces were part of the vision. Other pieces, once I paid for it, I no longer wanted it in the vision. So they likely get returned. I'm gonna try to do some research. Maybe I can find some alternatives that'll work. I know security is important and all, but there might be a few cheaper options that I need to consider. So I will definitely be doing some searching on the internet tonight to see if I can figure out another way to bring the vision alive, but a little cheaper. Now I'll show you some of the things that I got. So we did, of course, get the boxes that I was looking for in the first place. Okay, so I have this box and I also have the cover for it. This does cost a little more than I expected. These were about $11. These are about $4. And I had to get a total of 4 of them because 4 of the cameras outside are going to need that setup. Now, in order to protect the Ethernet cord, I don't want the weather to be beating it up. You know, here in Nevada, we deal with temperatures as high as 120 degrees. Once I start traveling, I'm going to be dealing with winter, rain, hail, just any and everything. So some protection won't hurt. So I did try to buy some conduits. However, inside the store, it wasn't the largest selection. So I did actually walk out of there with some non-metallic, liquid tight, flexible conduit. Okay. This is 1/2 inch, meaning the width of this tube is a 1/2 inch and it's 25 feet. The RV is 30 feet. In addition, in order to make this work with these, I also had to buy these Loctite non-metallic 90-degree connectors. Now this screws into this like so. The tubing goes in here. So you loosen it up, put the tubing in here, and then when you tighten it again, it creates a watertight seal. Now, this is kind of cool. This is, you know, it's definitely giving it a very pricey look, is what it's giving it. I don't need a pricey look. I need it to be a little more cheaper because with everything that I purchased today, now I did buy like a $5 item that has nothing to do with this, but I spent about $130. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that price, especially since at this point, I don't even know if this is going to be enough. I don't know if I feel like spending another $20 on another pack, and the stuff might be a little hard to work with. It's not going to be too hard, but it is going to fight me. Another issue that we may run into with this item here, this connector, this is a little thin inside, you know, so I may run into some problems trying to get the end piece in. In fact, definitely gonna run into problems. Now I do have a crimping tool where I can crimp Ethernet cords because I do plan on shortening this at some point. This is a lot of wire. I won't need all this wire. However, it wasn't necessarily part of the plan for this week. I definitely was just going to run it in and just have a whole bunch of extra wire just hitting away in that back. But if I use this, I'm going to have to start crimping this week. So, what I think may be a good alternative is I still want to keep these. I definitely like this idea. But for a lot of YouTubers who do solar, they purchase these items that allow them to apply... they purchase these items that allow them to install solar on the roof and then of course put a hole in either their van or their RV and it'll still protect them. Once again, it's a watertight seal. Those things are called like cable glands or something on those lines. I need that. That's what I want. I want that particular concept. If I could just get a cable gland, put it here, on one of these, so you know everything from the camera is going to go inside this, then the extra wire that needs to make its way over through the roof and then down into the RV, that can come out here. I think a cable gland would be perfect for this area here, and then maybe just use RV tape as protection. I'm going to go ahead and look up the cost of this just to make sure that this particular idea is actually cheaper. I could be digging a hole and just making it more expensive for myself. But I think that will work. So that's what I plan on doing now. I am going to eat because I am starving. I just ate that one time today. And it is definitely time for lunch and dinner. Since it's dark out and you can see the darkness, productivity meter is at an all-time low. You know, once that sun go away, I'm like a chicken. I'm like, the day is over. We're done. Time to relax. So I'm kind of starting to creep into relax mode. I'm debating on if I want to do any additional projects because there's one more that I could do tonight. And it would be a really good idea to do it. But I'm also just thinking about how comfortable my bed would be in my PJs and cuddling with the fur babies and watching television. Ooh, that sounds so much better. Being an adult is so hard. But I'm an adult who's also enjoying their gap year. And with it being my gap year, there's really no reason for me to cause extra stress or to stress myself out when a gap year is supposed to be about relaxation and doing the things you want to do. And I don't want to work anymore. So I really we're gonna figure this out, figure out if I'm gonna do anything else today. But I do know for sure I need to go online. I definitely need to go online, look at the other options that are out there, seeing as how my car is likely to be picked up on Friday. Any running around I need to do now. But we're at least one step closer. We're one step closer. Just not exactly where I want to be. But let's eat. Now, what do you think I should make for dinner? What do you think I should eat? Now, if you said I should eat chicken in a bag, you are absolutely correct, because that's what I'm going to be doing. I like to thank every store that thought of the idea of rotisserie chicken in a bag. It really makes things so easy for me, because I'm going to eat it out of this bag. I ain't sharing this with nobody. I'm eating it out of the bag. No utensils. This is the plate. Before I start this meal, earlier today, I found this quarter up there where Fatty generally hangs out. And I'm going to let this quarter decide whether or not I shall be productive for the rest of the evening. So heads, productivity. Tails, lay my butt in the bed and chill. That's not what I wanted at all. Let's say heads. Let's do 2 out of 3. Oh! There. That's heads too, y'all. I'm gonna see how I feel once I finish eating. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till then. Then I'm gonna flip the coins again. Yeah, so I think it's fair to say that I'm not gonna be physically productive tonight. Yeah, after eating, I didn't even bother to flip a coin. I knew I wasn't gonna move. So I just sat on the couch, on my phone, doing some research. Researching additional things and additional materials that could work and help me out with this security system. I don't know if the stuff I ordered were necessary for the security system or if it's just necessary to have as a RV homeowner, because at some point I started buying things that were relevant to the project, but then also things that you should just have for the RV. So I did purchase like some double-sided tape. I don't even know what the word is, but it's another type of tape that starts with a B, and apparently it's really good for sealing items. I also ordered some cable glands, and I wound up ordering some roof tape as well, some die-core. I can't remember everything. We'll go through the other things that I ordered tonight. The only thing that I didn't find online that I wanted to actually order, well, there's things that I found online, but I didn't order it. Instead of conduit, I've been looking at flexible tubing that they use, and you see it in your cars. For example, like in my car, in the trunk, the wires that are in there are covered by this flexible tubing. So I have a few items coming. More money has been spent. I'm just sitting here looking at my bank account. I'm like, why am I spending so much money recently? But it's because I'm preparing the RV to travel. Fur babies have been costing me money. Getting the RV safe has been costing me money. adding the accessories that make it safer to drive the RV has cost me money. So right now I'm spending a lot of money. But recently, my expenses were fairly low. So right now I'm like, goodness gracious. As of now, I have some items coming. They should be here Thursday. Keep in mind, the car is supposed to be picked up Friday, so that makes me a little nervous. Before I lose my car, before I'm carless, I gotta get all my little errands out the way. Now, with that being said, tomorrow, I really can't do too much with the security systems because I'm still waiting for items to arrive in order to finish the project. So I think I am going to try to drop some weight in the RV. There's some items that I need to go through, get rid of. I also want to try to inventory some of my stuff because a lot of things is going to be in storage containers. And just so I don't lose my mind, I need to notate what storage container everything's in. So tomorrow I may be doing that. I don't know what time on Thursday things are going to be showing up. I am definitely having to shift some things until these items are shipped and they arrive. But as far as tonight, I was productive, just not physically productive. Right now, it's time to just chill, relax, hanging out with the fur babies, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Don't be alarmed, it's just me. All right, so shower's complete. I have my clothes picked out. As you can see, I'm doing a little face mask because I'm trying to do better with self-care. I need to remind myself, as well as everyone that watches this channel, that this channel is not just a RV channel. This channel is actually more about self-care and putting self first. So self is the cause. Living in the RV is the result. Now, I need to do better. So right now, I'm doing better. Now, once this is all dried up and washed off, I'm going to get dressed. Then I'm going to go outside in that heat, that desert heat. And I'm probably going to start off with the RV. I'm literally going to take everything that's in the storage department or the garage of the RV out of the RV. I'm going to empty it out entirely. Then I'm going to go to my storage unit, do the same thing, empty everything out. Then I need to go through my stuff and decide what needs to go. Because there's no way there's a way for me to fit everything in the RV in order to drive. But that means I'm going to have to put stuff in the garage of the RV as well as inside the RV, which makes walking around and being comfortable during the trip a little bit harder. I don't want to do that. I really want to try to get it. So the only extra stuff that I have in the RV is in the garage area. So that's why I'm going through everything, doing some more downsizing, purging once again. And I've done multiple purges, but I just have too much stuff. Maybe today will be the day we'll get down to the basics. I will be doing that. And then we'll see how far I get along with that particular project. I do also want to try to inventory everything. Anything that I decide will be kept and will go into the RV. I want to inventory it so I know where everything is stored. And then depending on how I feel, once all that's done, the other project that I could do would be inside the RV. It's the project that I was thinking about doing last night where I want to remove some more of the furniture. I've already done up there, but there's stuff on this level that I want to remove as well, just to get ahead of the game. I may not do the project that follows right away, but this is an easy time for me to get stuff out of the RV into the dump because I have my landlady to help with that. Once I get to Pennsylvania, I don't know how easy it'll be to dump stuff. So, we'll just take advantage of the truck that's available to us now. I don't feel like hauling stuff in a Fiesta. Now for our message of the day. Don't be ashamed to put you first. Put your goals, your passions, your wants, your priorities before anyone else's. There's nothing wrong with that. Take care of you because you cannot fill someone else's cup if your cup is empty. So here's an update on the situation with Yellowfin and the driver. The only issue that we may run into is one, the driver has said, instead of picking up the car on Friday, he may need to pick up on Saturday. That's not a big issue. And then the other thing is because I'm in such a small rural neighborhood, the streets are small, and they're concerned that they will not be able to get the trailer to me. So they are at this point suggesting possibly having the pickup location be the Walmart, the nearest Walmart. Now this is information that is in the contract, so this is not unheard of. Like, I'm not super shocked by this. That's where we are. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and wash off this face mask because it's a little tight.
Imagine sun shining, pink clouds in the sky, and everything is right. Imagine stars lighting up the night, and a shooting star so vibrant, you have to make a wish. Nothing's ever in your way, scoring every shot you make. No, you've never heard of pain, because you're just high on life. Every day is Saturday. Life is sweet as birthday.
We are not 100% done, but we are very close to it. Now, I've been putting things in a bit of a pile. This black ottoman's going directly in the trash. This is just a whole box full of electronics that's going in the trash. This pile here is going to be my donation pile. These items will be donated. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these cleaning supplies. Now, generally I'd like to hold on to it since I paid for it, but not everything in this pile is good for the tanks. So I need to get myself to a point where I'm basically just using vinegar and Dawn dish soap and water to clean things. So we'll see what we're gonna do with that. And these are the leftover containers. This top one is actually books, and I just have to get myself to the point where I can finally donate these books. I've already forgotten what's at the bottom, but that's also something that I probably need to find a place for. This brown drawer does have some items in it that I want, but the majority of this is going in the trash. This is another container full of electronics. I just got to go through that, see what I'm gonna do with the items in there. That needs to go in the house. More cleaning supplies that I'm not quite certain what I'm gonna do with it. What exactly is this? This is just empty, so an extra container. But the good thing is this is completely empty. So we're almost where we need to be. And then this needs to make its way to recycle. So today was a good day. Overall, I am happy with the day. It did start off a little shaky, but I am pleased with what has gotten done today. More stuff needs to get done. I know. I still have some boxes that I need to either get rid of or consolidate. We'll be working on that tomorrow. Sadly, I did relocate some of the stuff that was in the garage and in the storage unit into the actual RV. Luckily, one of the boxes that's in here now that's taking up space is actually a box of containers. So this is something that needs to make its way into the kitchen anyway. This is now in here. This is the mattress that I was referring to that I want to repurpose and then put it over here. In this area, it's going to go along with this mattress that was part of this setup up here. So the two of these are going to wind up in this area. Right now, I plan on getting my butt in the shower, and I will be using warm water. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down, watch TV, chill with the fur babies. The night is over. Tomorrow we'll start again. We'll finish with the project that we were doing today, such as getting everything underneath the garage of the RV. Everything's out of the storage unit, so I'm happy about that. So what I'm seeing left over is it. So that's a plus. Also tomorrow we're going to try and probably get this out of here and see if I'm able to get that done. I didn't do any inventory. That's the only bad thing. Those boxes, those storage containers are back in the RV. I don't know what's in what. We'll just play it by ear. That may be a project where we'll just come back to it, but it's good to know that everything at least is going to fit. Whew. Thank you for watching part 1 of Prep Week, preparing for my first cross-country trip. Check my vlog series, Chronicles of an RV Newbie, for part 2. Join the adventure as I continue to downsize, install the cameras, ship my vehicle, and make modifications to the motorhome. You can also find bonus footage with extended scenes and additional commentary on the security camera install and my experience using the auto shipping company. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know you made it to the end of the video by sharing ways that you practice self-care in the comments, and I'll see you next time.